Good afternoon, this is Toki Wright. Welcome to Right About Now. Right About Now is a weekly blog that I'll be doing. I wanted to talk about some different topics that I feel are important. Shed some light on some issues that I think often go overlooked. We are often misled as people to think that things are true that really are not. So something I want to talk about today, this past week we observed Columbus Day. People ask me why I don't support the Columbus holiday. I will take a free day off of work though. So Cristobal Colombo, as he was known, was an Italian explorer, colonist, pirate that was commissioned by Spain to find a new route for the spice trade. In 1492, Columbus landed in the Bahamas. This is his so-called discovery of the United States. The problem with this so-called discovery is that, one, just from the standpoint of Europeans had been present 500 years prior through the Vikings, as well as there's evidence of the Polynesians and Western Africans' discovery of America centuries before. At least 15,000 years before Columbus landed in the Bahamas, there were inhabitants, indigenous peoples, all throughout North, South, Central America. So Catholics in the United States had gone through the same persecution that many other groups, religious groups, had gone through. And they felt that they needed some sort of strong figure to help represent the Catholic Church. And thus, through the lobbying efforts to Roosevelt, were able to have what we now know as Columbus Day officially a federal holiday in 1937. Columbus's legacy is filled with both physical and sexual abuse, genocide, colonialism, as well as piracy. Looking into Christopher Columbus's logs at the time in 1492, you'll find that his first impression of the indigenous peoples was that they were easy to manipulate and docile enough for them to put into servitude. This is all based on the Arawak and Taínos' openness to others and generosity. Shortly after landing in the Bahamas, Columbus declared the land in the name of Spain. Within 2 years, nearly half of the population, 125,000 people, died at the hands of Christopher Columbus and his pirates. Also looking back into Columbus's logs, you'll find that his pirates or his co-conspirators were guilty of sexual assault and sexual abuse to both men and women who were natives and inhabitants of the Bahamas. Some of the logs show that the preferred age of the sexual slave was 9 or 10 years old. So you can think about how sick that is and how unacceptable that is today. The pirates or soldiers, however they are regarded as today, were also guilty of cutting off the hands of anyone that was considered insubordinate and wearing the hands around their neck as intimidation. When Columbus returned to the Americas, he also brought back the cannon and attack dogs and introduced this weaponry to a land that had no previous knowledge and no previous use for these weapons and these attack animals. And when food was scarce, Columbus's attack dogs were often fed Arawak babies, children. But all in all, Columbus's introduction into the New World led to the genocide of nearly 2 million indigenous people, as well as the enslavement of nearly 20 million Africans. Not exactly somebody I'm proud of, not exactly somebody that I would like to hold up as a hero. Just because someone tells you that something is true, and just because you're taught over generations that something is true, does not make it true. So once again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, send them to booktoki@gmail.com. The more we do this, the more we'll get into other questions. Be sure to check out Galactic Soul Lounge, The Masquerade Party with Mike McLawn, Postnosis, Gregory's and DJ Fundamentalist doing a dedication mix to Redman and Method Man at the end of this month on Wednesday the 27th at Cause, as well as check out 678's Music 1960 to 1989, focusing on 1984 with Soul Gold at Honey in Minneapolis. Peace, love. I'll see you soon. Toki Wright, Soul Tools, Rhymesayers #1. Peace to Fifth Element.